have some very exciting technology to share today, and it's really good times for us. COVID has slowed down many companies. For us, it seems to have accelerated us. So we're pretty pleased with where this market is going. So look forward statement is presented there. And today we're going to talk about RVX, where it's been and where it's going. And it's going quite fast. So we are a Canadian publicly traded company, and we have an advanced cardiovascular diabetes drug called Apabetalone. We're pioneering a technology that utilizes the ability to turn genes on or off. So we don't change human DNA, we actually turn genes on and off, and that's referred to as epigenetics. And Apabetalone has recently, and this is a very important point, Apabetalone has recently been awarded the FDA Breakthrough Therapy Designation. That happened in February 2020. Unfortunately, what also happened in February 2020 was COVID. So we didn't get the 4 to 5 time bounce we should have got, and we expect it shortly. This is the highest designation you can get from the FDA prior to registration. So the Breakthrough Therapy Designation prior to us was only awarded to 130 other drugs ever, and none of them were mainstream cardiovascular drugs. So this is a major development for the corporation. And going forward, this drug is very safe. It's been tested already in over 4,200 man-years of treatment. It's demonstrated potential in areas like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic kidney disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver, and vascular dementia. So it's huge markets, as Gilbert mentioned earlier. We will be proceeding into some of these quite fast. Let's see here. Our near-term development is very strong. With our FDA approval, we've had our first meeting with the FDA and been able to design the trial going forward, the next step. And very exciting for us, as we got pretty much everything and more than we were hoping to with the FDA. They've been wonderful to work with. We have an application that allows us to run a trial, and at the midway point, if we're seeing successful data, they will register the drug. So that is a big, big advancement. That could happen halfway through a trial. So going forward, we're also being able to combine SGLT2s, that's a new type of diabetes medication. We're being able to include that in the trial with all patients. Not only are we being able to include it, we're going to be able to select which one we include. So it really gives us a great advantage in dealing with partners in this field. We also have more chronic kidney disease patients involved in this trial. So we're going to get a 2-for-1 study. Basically, we'll be able to prove definitively the effects on chronic kidney disease as well. We've seen very solid effects on that already, as I'll share with you in a short while. And we've also been encouraged by the FDA to look at other areas like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or sometimes called NASH. And this is a big market area, and that encouragement is a real plus for us. So moving forward, we have several development approaches. First development approach is actually partnering this with a major pharma. We see this as a very high likelihood at this point. We would be receiving a major upfront this year if this is finalized. And the company we're partnering with will also be paying for the entire phase 3B trial. So this is a big step forward for us to be able to advance and reduce costs in such a significant way. So the new partner would also include their SGLT2 inhibitor in the program. So they effectively will have the only combination data going forward to advance into new medications. And our data has really shown strong synergy with the SGLT2. So it will give our new partner a very solid market position, and we're proud to be able to present that as an opportunity. And going forward, we also would have milestone payments and M&A options based on the results of this particular trial. So it's a very, very good design. It's a very equal design for both the pharma and the biotech, being us, whereas depending on the results of the trial, if it's really solid, we get paid more. And if it's just okay but passes, the pharma isn't paying too much. So it's a good setup. Second option is actually we can sell or trade off some of our future royalty rights to pay for the trial and do it ourselves if we wish. We also have a third option where we can work with existing and new investors to do this on our own. I personally think option one is the best, to team up now with a multinational global pharma company that has weight in the field and salespeople's in the audience already, in the field already. So going forward, what a drug requires to be successfully commercialized, you can have the best drug and the best trials going, but you really need to have the full package before it's going to get out there and be successful. So you want efficacy, or does the drug work? You want safety. Is it safe in the general population? We have that already as well. We have efficacy. Regulatory approval. Well, we have FDA breakthrough therapy designation. So that was a fantastic. And that includes all of the aspects of a fast forward development program. So this will go through the next stages to commercialization a lot faster than a normal drug. We're very happy with that. You also need mechanism of action, understanding how the drug works. Our company is the most advanced company in the world in BET bromodomain inhibition. We have the mechanism of action, a lot more than general people know, and we publish regularly on this. There's another major publication coming out on this just this week. So publications, we're highly published. We'll talk about that a little bit more as well. And a strategic pathway, a clear set pathway of where we're going, who we're going with, manufacturing, chemistry, that type of stuff, also already in place. So we are set and ready to go. And going forward, it's getting rather exciting from our point of view. So back to these orders we just went through. Efficacy, does the drug work? Yes, it does. So the hazard ratio in the last trial for showing the relative risk reduction in death, heart attacks, and congestive heart failure, we showed a 63% reduction in these events over standard of care. So this just isn't placebo. These are patients being treated as best as we can, excuse me, in the medical system today. And we can reduce these events by 63%. And that is a hazard ratio or a p-value of 0.0002. That means there's only 2 in 10,000 chance that this data is incorrect. So very exciting from our point of view. If you look at the bottom panel there, the number of events. So in this particular chart, we're showing that the placebo patients, or placebo on top standard of care, had 42 events. People on Apabetalone only had 15 events. So that's pretty solid going forward. And the good news is the drug is extremely well tolerated, even in combination with these newer drugs like SGLT2s and DPP4s. So we're clearly, obviously, talking to the drug manufacturers that make those, because those are very, very big, important drugs. They're going to do about $25 billion in sales over the next couple of years, and per year, that is. And we make them work 63% better. Wow. So going forward, we've already talked a little bit about this FDA breakthrough therapy designation. That's a huge step forward, and we're very excited to have it. They've been very good to work with. I want to touch on this one a little bit as well. This is the CKD data, or chronic kidney disease data. And going forward, this will be a big part of our program as well. And what you're seeing here is that in the last trial, we've already proven efficacy in that we are showing a 50% relative risk reduction in events. And again, these events include things like death, heart attack, congestive heart failure. So 50% reduction for those patients who are on drug versus not drug. And these are in the sick patients. So when you look at the patients who are, their kidney levels are considered healthier above 60 GFR versus those below 65 GFR, you see quite a difference here. So 50% reduction and move in the market. This is a slide depicting the how the mechanism works in epigenetics. It's a little complicated, so in a matter of conserving time, we'll move forward a little bit. But basically on the bottom, we're a reader. We're a protein-to-protein interaction and fully reversible, where the first two writers and erasers are chemical-to-chemical interaction and not reversible. Now this slide is very important. I'll touch on it because this is how the drug works. This is a new breakthrough in drug development. On the bottom there, you'll see in the purple diagram, the purple squiggle there, that's representing proteins. That's where most drug development works in the past. And that's great if your disease is a single protein disease, where ours are not. Chronic kidney disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, heart disease, they're multifactorial. So you need advanced technology. And on the the right-hand side, the newer technologies in drug development involve messenger RNA, and some of the work that's happening there is involving COVID. And on the top, you're seeing on the top right, you're seeing genome editing. Well, again, that's changing the human DNA. And if you have a single gene hereditary problem, that's very important. But if you have a multifactorial, that is not going to work. So the newest and the most advanced is on your upper left, and that's epigenetic regulation. And that's what we do, and we're the most advanced in the world on it. So your original DNA message has been corrupted, and it's been corrupted by either disease, diet, or environment. And what we're doing is we're resending the original DNA message. So you can correct hundreds of protein problems at once. So this is an extremely advanced program, and we're the world leaders in it. As far as publications in epigenetics, I think this one alone describes it quite well, that you can see these 100 and 1,000% increases in the amount of publications over the last year or two, or sorry, 10 years. And this is just proof of the advanced acceleration of this program. And we are one of the world leaders in this area, probably the world leader in bet bromodomain. Most of the data we've been showing you today is based on programs run between 2015 and 2019. And safety in this was extremely high. And that's part of why the FDA gave us breakthrough therapy designation. Now, as far as business strategy, we already have a partnership in Greater China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau. That is with Shenzhen Hepalink. They've been an excellent partner. Since working with us from day one, they've increased their holdings up to $130 million. And so we have a good partner, good development group going on there. We've also licensed in Israel, and we're in discussions in other global deals regarding licensing and or co-development partnerships, as mentioned earlier. Now, going forward in strategic commercial pathway, that's all laid out. We have quite a bit of program developed around high-risk acute coronary syndrome and high-risk chronic kidney disease and end-stage renal disease. We're also moving into vascular cognitive dementia. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease programs, or NASH, are looking exceptionally well. Now, the additional indications, we have complement-mediated diseases, neurofibratomas, pulmonary arterial hypertension. That program's active right now in progress in clinical development, muscular dystrophy, Fabry's. There's an enormous amount of them, including COVID. 22 universities around the world did a study of 20,000 drugs potential for COVID. They published on 63 of the most promising, and we were actually second one on the list. So we're very pleased that that program is advancing.
Hi, Don. There's a few questions waiting in line. So if you'd like to answer those, you can try to wrap up a bit.
Sure, I'd love to. I'm wrapped up right now. I'm just showing the final slide with our management team. And most of these people have been around with the company for a great number of years. Dr. Wong and I are the founders. Mike Sweeney's come to us from Pfizer, 11 years in clinical development there. Evelina Kulikovsky is she is the lead person in BET bromodomain research in the world. The others have been with the company for up to 15 years now. So a long-term group. So I am open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. So the very first question coming from the Chinese side here in the feed, question from Oscar Xu is, what's the status of the negotiation with a business partner to complete the phase 3 trial?
Status is excellent. We have multiple partners we're discussing in multiple different formats. And I can say as of yesterday, I'm very pleased with where we are and how fast this is moving. We will see activity before the end of the year.
It's good to know. Second question coming from Paul Sack here is that you have a Chinese partner a few years ago. So what's their involvement currently now with the company?
I missed that question. We had a what?
Chinese partner that you have a few years ago. I believe he's regarding the Shenzhen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got that. Yeah, I just mentioned that actually. Shenzhen Hepalink. They've gone from just a licensing small ownership position to build up to $130 million investment now. So relationship has been excellent. I keep in touch with them almost daily. Unfortunately for me, that's usually midnight my time.
It's good. You have to work overnight now. So another question coming from Brian Hurton here. What's your 3-year time frame outlook of your company? 3 years from now.
3 years from now, we expect to be an extremely large global player. I think you'll see the advancements towards that before the end of this year as we move into a partnership with a major pharma, and the development of this company is straight up from this point.
And I think that's it for the questions and for your time. Thank you, Don, for coming out to give us updates. I will let you go. And now, if any further questions, we'll forward that to you after the show.
Thank you very much, Gilbert. Good seeing you again.
Thank you. Good to see you.